Hello everyone, and thanks for hanging out with me. Today a special edition. We have an interview here. This is Kris Rifa. Did I say that right even?
Yeah, Kris Rifa, however you want to say it.
Okay. Already unprepared here.
Okay. Guten Abend, wie geht's?
Hey, do you know a lot of German?
Ein bisschen.
Oh. Look at you. And we're doing a little interview here. We have the live stream going at the same time. I thought we're having some fun. EV YouTuber to EV YouTuber. Talk a bit about everything around and cars too. How are you today? Are you fine?
Oh, ich bin gut. Und du? You didn't expect that?
I have a few questions for you, and all over the place, and I have it here on a little sheet. So, and of course, I want to take questions from the YouTube community as well. Oh my God, it's already coming along. What's your take on the Ioniq 5 overheating? Is it a real thing or just a Monday car?
Was that a question for me or for you?
I guess for both.
Well, Bjorn tested the same car. We talked about this the other day. Because I got a lot of quote-unquote hate on that video. Like the downlikes, I think was like almost 10%. Usually it's like 2 or 3 because of the overheating issue. And Bjorn has tested the same car. I have tested it. We have not heard anything from Hyundai. So like if there was an issue with the actual car, I think they would have reached out and like, oh no, there's an issue with that car. You have to test this other car because that's happened before, right? So I think Hyundai are silent about the issue because there's a real issue. I think so.
So you had it too when you tested the car?
Yeah, I had the car first and I had the issue, and then he had the car after me. He had the same issue. And he was only getting like 60 kilowatts of power. He measured it because I don't, do any like instrument testing, but he has the OBD device and he had the same issue. And the readout was like, after charging, going on the motorway, only 60 kilowatts of power. That's like 1/3, like that's like 100 horsepower. So really
very
bad.
Similar to Leaf, to the new Leaf.
Seems so.
Even though it should have liquid cooling and everything.
Yeah, I don't know why there's an issue, but there is an issue. But like I have a lot of emphasis on seat comfort, road noise, suspension, not the traditional things like, I talk about range and consumption also. Like, I don't care too much about consumption because like real world range is more important. Like you can have a big battery, and I don't know, like the test I did today with the Model Y, right? My new motorway test, at the end I have a chart where I compare WLTP rating to actual range. And to me that's more important, like the discrepancy. So I think the Model Y was like 68% of WLTP, which is not very good. I mean, the Ioniq 5 was even worse, but my e-tron GT is like 80%, right? So.
But what speeds were you doing on the highway?
I'm doing, measured speed is between 110 and 112 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, and then Bjorn does the 1,000 kilometer if someone is traveling really far to see what problems the car like the Ioniq 5 now, if you charge a few times, what can happen. I don't do that because it takes way too much time.
Yeah, the 1,000 kilometer is really long.
It's exhausting. It's stressful, exhausting, and it just takes a long time.
Yeah, that's why I have my Norwegian high-speed run, which is 615 kilometers. Takes around 7 hours. It's like, I can do that in a day. But going 1,000...
still a long time. No. How long have you been doing this?
So my first video went up in early February 2016. So that was my first, I think that was filmed on either the 2nd or 3rd of February. That was my delivery video of my Volvo XC90 D4. That was my very first video.
Cool. But then it was just fun. There was no intention of doing videos.
No, so at that point in time, I was watching a lot of these British supercar YouTubers like Seeing Through Glass, Supercars of London, and those Shmee, those guys. Like I was fascinated. Like you could watch people like ownership of supercars. But when that XC90 was my first really expensive car here in Norway, it was like more than 100,000 euros. So I was like, oh, nobody's made videos like this on luxury cars. So I brought my phone, I filmed, and yeah, after that I just, it was a hobby, like for fun only, like experimenting, nothing serious at all. Yeah, so we do that now, like at this point in time, I'm like 3, 4, 5, 10 videos ahead. I have ideas where like I can squeeze something in if I have like no press cars for a week. But at that point in time, I was just making videos for fun. Like I didn't have any intentions behind videos. But when I first started to like take things seriously was maybe after a year when I, monetized my channel, and I reached out to Volvo, and I'm like, I make videos for fun. And they're like, oh, this is cool. We're going to give you access to our press fleet. So that was maybe like 12, 13, 14 months after my first upload. Maybe I had uploaded like, I don't know, 15, 20 videos, not a lot of videos. And at that point in time, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to at least maybe do one video a week. And at that point in time, I started planning and started to get more structure, more standardized video formats.
So is YouTube your only work, or do you still work on the side?
So I have another job. I've talked about this like briefly when people ask, but I don't want to reveal anything yet until YouTube is full-time possibly. So in the last year, like going back to what we talked about, so from 2017 to about 2020, I was doing YouTube like twice a week. And then I had a break when my daughter was born, or like a year after my daughter was born. I had a break for maybe one year, almost 1.5 years. I didn't do almost any YouTube. And then I started again last summer, and then like the past year, I've been doing it like full time. Like when people ask me like, do you do YouTube full time? And I'm like, define full time. And they're like, is it your only income? I'm like, no, but I do more hours than a full-time job into YouTube in a week. So like, it's how you define it. So I work like with my job and YouTube, I probably work like between 60 and 80 hours a week.
My God.
Yeah. Or maybe like, no. It's kind of extreme.
So that Volvo, what was it, XC90?
Yeah, XC90 diesel.
Yeah, was and what made you switch to go electric when it wasn't electric before?
Yeah, so it's just like I live in Norway. 70% of new cars sold here last year were electric. Last month were electric. 70% of all new cars sold last month.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like inevitable. Like everybody you speak to is like, it's just a question of when people are going to transition into electric. So I had an Audi A4 1.4 TFSI at the point in time, and I like the cost of that was a lease. So the lease cost, the gas cost, the toll roads, insurance was the same amount as monthly as getting an Audi e-tron 55. Wow. And I think the price of that A4 was like maybe 50,000 euros, and the e-tron was like 85,000 almost. So you could get much more car for the same price. So it's like a no-brainer, right? At least here in Norway.
Next question is about Norway. What you just said. Everybody in the world, when they watch videos of people in Norway, they think, "Oh my God, this is electric heaven."
Yeah.
Is that true? Is it electric heaven? You've been to other countries?
Yeah, like it's weird because we kind of live in this bubble where you get used to all of the EVs, and it's first when you start to travel outside of Norway. Like I was just in Germany, right? Or here's a fun story. Like when I took delivery of my e-tron GT last month, I took it down to Munich. I was a whole week in Germany, and I saw one other e-tron GT, right?
Well, it's pretty new and it's an expensive car. I can understand that they're not.
But in my
everywhere.
just in my neighborhood here, like 2-3 kilometer radius, I think there are like 4 or 5 e-tron GTs.
Okay, yeah, that's different.
Like
I haven't seen the car yet.
In my neighborhood, but in all of I went to Munich. Munich is like 2.5 million people, right? I live in Oslo. Oslo is a small city compared to Munich. So in my street also, like 500 meters, there are like I think 8 or 10 big e-trons, and maybe like 10 Tesla. So yeah, we have a lot of EVs here, and it's apparent when you travel outside of Norway that the world isn't electric. It's only Norway. So as I said, like last year, more than 50% of all new cars sold were electric. Last month, 70%. Last year, 2020, the best-selling car, period, not best-selling EV, not best-selling period was Audi e-tron.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. You like it big there.
So
interesting.
The reason is, I made a video about this, but the reason is, so in Norway we have taxes on, so we have VAT, 25% on cars. But on top of that, we have like a tax on horsepower. We had a tax on horsepower, but traditionally we had a tax on horsepower, weight, and also displacement. So
what does that mean?
So that means like the bigger the engine, the more the horsepower, the heavier the car, the more taxes. So when I grew up, I remember like in mid-90s, a Mercedes S600 in Norway was more than 200,000 euros. It was taxed 100%, right? So that's our country for the past, I don't know, since Second World War, we've had high taxes on cars. Look to Denmark. Denmark have the same taxation system we had 10, 20 years ago. So cars are very expensive, but it's been changing for the past 20 years. And for EVs, we don't have, not only don't we have any taxes, we have no VAT.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's amazing.
This is why I could buy, an Audi e-tron GT in Germany, because I can export it, I get 19% VAT back, and then I can import it into Norway, no VAT.
Wow.
So it's like
Makes
almost
sense.
buying a car at 20% discount from you. Yeah, it makes sense. That's amazing.
But I talk to subscribers all the time, and they tell me when they are in Germany, and I noticed that too. When you drive, you rarely see an EV.
Yeah.
You see EVs because I notice them, I know them. So when I go to work, I see 2 e-Golfs. That's all I see in 26 kilometers.
Yeah.
And the cars I see are Zoes or i3s. But and then the number of Model 3s is getting bigger, but I rarely see bigger cars.
Interesting.
It's just
Here it's almost opposite. Like in rush hour traffic here in Oslo, you'll see like I drove here last week. I sent the film to my friend Kyle from Out of Spec Reviews, and I'm not kidding. Like in the 30 cars around me, 25 of them were EVs. It's insane.
Yeah. That was something with your regarding your channel. How much did it impact your channel when you made videos with YouTube? You must seen exponential growth then, because being with him in the video, and he has now 250,000 subscribers. So of course people are like, who is this? And then I don't know if he had a link in the description, and then
with Bjorn,
I'm
you mean?
sure that.
Yeah. No, so we did our first collab about a year ago, maybe September, October last year. Yeah, I saw big growth when his video went live.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah, so it really gave me a boost.
So are you in regular contact with him, or is it just he calls you up, I have an idea for a thing, or you up for it and that's it?
No, we like on and off speak regularly, but he's also so busy all the time. So I can be like, so Bjorn, we should do a collab. And he's like, yeah, we should most definitely do a collab. And it's like a month later, we're like, oh, yeah, we have time now. So it's all because of scheduling. Like this interview, we initially was going to do this 3 weeks ago, me and you, this interview. Yeah. this is just how the YouTube space works. So, but yeah, we speak on and off. But he's usually also very busy. But sometimes we can like talk for an hour, maybe. Like I saw him last week when I picked up the Model Y that he was testing. So we like stood there like half an hour. We could just talk EVs for hours.
Is he that different off camera?
No, he's basically the same. Like
The same.
He's as talkative.
Greeting you the same way.
Yeah. He's like, what's up? No, what's his intro? He's like, what does he usually say? He says, yo, what's up? Yeah, yo, what's up? Yeah. So he's like, yo, what's up? No, he's like Bjorn on camera is the same person off camera. It's so uncanny. I'm gonna ask you first. I don't want to preempt the question, but did you see the EQS SUV Maybach?
Yeah, with the 24-inch wheels.
Yeah, I don't know. That thing was hideous. It was so ugly.
It's not a car. It's like the Hummer EV.
Yeah. Well, at least the Hummer EV has more class.
I know where they're going here. The big, gigantic, luxurious thing. But I don't think that's the way to go right now.
No, it was hideous. It was made for the Chinese market. So I don't know.
I wanted to drive the EQS when I was there because they told me I could on the press day.
Yeah.
And I arrived. It opened at 8. I arrived at 8:30, and the list was already full till the late afternoon. And then I said, no.
Yeah. No.
No, we'll see at some other point that I
Do you
will
have
find.
that available as a press car yet in Germany? Press loan? No, I'm waiting for one here
asked,
also. So.
Here it's different. I wouldn't say the only one, but I'm almost the only EV YouTuber in Germany that speaks English in his videos.
Yeah.
And I did it on purpose because it's not just about Germany, and there are millions of German EV YouTubers.
Oh, there are. Interesting.
Millions. And they all started with Tesla. They all had a name with Tesla. So Tesla this, Tesla that, Tesla Pete, Tesla Tim, I don't know, Tim the Tesla man, everything.
Tesla the Tim
I'm not
Tesla.
joking. And no, really, it was everything had to do with Tesla.
Yeah.
And what the car makers don't get, slowly a bit, is that, yes, journalists get a lot of views, but the thing what they do is get attention to the car, but then the people are like, that looks like an interesting car, do I want that? And then you and me, Bjorn and the others come into play and show them, okay, the car can drive this, the car has these kinds of seats, and this is a problem, this is great, I like it because of that, I don't like it because of this, and then people say, I do agree or do not agree. It's not the point.
Yeah.
But we can mention it. Okay, this is something that's happening, and then people say, "I want this car," or "I don't want this car," and I think they underestimating that.
Yeah, and also what me, you, Bjorn, and also we're not a lot of people doing this around the world. But what we do is we do proper real world testing where we document everything, right? No journalists, because they work, in the old way where you review a car, but they're not spending 10 hours, 14 hours behind the wheel doing range tests. Like one of the biggest newspapers in Norway, probably the biggest one, they get a lot of viewers, and then they rank the EVs, and they're like, oh, this was the range we got. And this is printed this is probably a newspaper that 50% of the population reads. Wow. Online, and they're like, oh, we got this range, and I'm reading, I'm like, you did 90 kilometers of a range test, and I'm like, that's not a big, you have to drive further. That's such a small data set that won't give you any reliable range. Like the shortest one I do is 233 kilometers, and I'm like if I could do this further, it would be better. But that's why I do I do that one, and I do a different one, and I do a different one, so you get all the different angles. I like the way it drives. It rides like comfort and sound insulation. And I like that the ID3 has a simple and cheap interior because it fits that car. But what ruins the ID cars is the infotainment system. Like if it had a better infotainment, that would be the perfect car.
See, and this is why I love this, because I'm disappointed that the infotainment system hasn't evolved as much as I would have wanted it, and I made a video about that. But I'm okay with it because in my real life use, I drive to work, I drive home, and then sometimes I drive somewhere. So yes, Tesla is 10 times better with the infotainment system, what it can do, and all the features. That's amazing. But most of them I don't use. So for me, it's okay. But it's amazing that, for example, for you, it's totally different. And then people can listen to both of us and then make their own decision. Okay.
Yeah.
But the thing is, yes, we give an opinion, but we're just showing how it is.
Yeah, sure.
Volkswagen did not pay me, and then I say it's the greatest infotainment system ever made. I say how it is, how I think it is. And the people should make their own decision. And I love when people come to me and tell me I bought a car because of your video.
Yeah. That's the best feeling in the world. That's like, then you feel like you really helped somebody, right? So
exactly.
No,
because
but
we were the same. We were both, do I want this car? Do I want this car? What could be the best car? And then if you see something and you're like, he showed me everything that I needed to know. This is the car I want. I will try it.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And this is like I often get not often, but sometimes I get comments on my video like, "Oh, this is not objective," and I'm like, "No, this is subjective. Like, this video is my opinion. Like I'm like, this video is about this car, and this is my opinion. It's not like it's not supposed to be objective." And that's the thing, because like I value some things differently than you. Bjorn values things differently. Everybody values things differently. Like we voice our opinion, but also it's our job to also show the car, to report. Like when I do a range test, it's like, that's totally objective. But when I do a review, that's subjective. When I did my Ioniq 5 review, people are like, "Oh, nobody reported an issue with this." And I'm like, no, because maybe they don't find this as an issue, like they don't care about this aspect. But for me, this is important. Exactly. I care about ride quality and comfort, and I care about like aesthetics and material quality. People are like complaining about, "Oh, you talk too much about nice materials and build quality." And like, but that's what I value. Like you spend 100% of the time driving the car inside the car, right? So
and that's awesome, because I don't care about materials at all.
No, yeah. But we value things differently. I'm not wrong and I'm not right, and you're not wrong and you're not right. That's your subjective opinion.
A big one now. What do you think about Tesla fanboyism? That's always a big topic here on the channel, because I always said that I won't buy a Tesla just because of Tesla fanboyism. Because every time when I test Tesla and I say anything negative,
doesn't matter.
And I honestly, I've been wrong before.
So, but to answer your question, Tesla fanboys, it's not only like fanboys in general, I'm not a huge fan of. I find them funny, but Tesla, but also annoying. Like Tesla fanboys is like when me and Bjorn and Powell did the Arctic race and he drove the standard range plus, Tesla fanboys were complaining like, if you drove the long range, it would be more fair. And I'm like, what are you talking about? More fair? It won. Like, the standard range plus won. You want it to win even more? Like, they're never happy. Like, they're never, it's never good enough.
I think that's what fanboyism is.
Yeah.
Everything has to be perfect and we overlook.
Yeah, and what really annoys me is like, I could make a video about a Tesla and people are like, oh, you're so biased against Tesla. Like, you only talk about negatives with Tesla. And I'm like, that's not true. look at my test of the ID4. Terrible interior, boring to drive, horrible infotainment system. Like, I haven't been more negative about the car than the Volkswagen ID4. Also, people call me, oh, you're such an Audi fanboy. Look at my review of the Q4. Like, so expensive, and then the interior is not very good. Like, this is not good enough. I'm negative about cars when there's things to be negative. I don't care about the brand. Like, the EV I rank the best in that 50,000 euro space is the Mustang Mach-E. Up until I drove that car, I was like, why would anybody buy a Ford? Yeah, but instead of a Volkswagen, instead of a Peugeot, why would you buy a Ford? But now I rank the Mach-E as the best EV in that space. I don't care about the brand. So this is what the fanboy glasses, they first see the brand and then they see the products like far down the line. It's annoying, but it's the world we live in.
I got the best comment here. Stop bashing ID4.
No, it's like the positive. It's very cheap. Like you can get in Norway, you can get the 77 kilowatt hour one for like, is it like 35,000 euros? It's impressively cheap.
Oh yeah, how with your new car? How is the e-tron GT so far?
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's the best car I have owned, but I haven't announced this yet. But I'm probably going to sell it now because it's done too many kilometers.
Really?
Yeah, I've done 10,000 kilometers with it, and I have a Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo on order, but that's delayed. So I made a video about this. I won't get that before January. I was going to get it like next month, but it's delayed. So the plan was to have the e-tron GT, drive 10,000 kilometers, and then, get my Taycan Cross Turismo. But now since it's November, December, January, at least 3 months away, I don't want to put more kilometers on it because then I'm going to lose a lot of money if I sell it. So yeah, I'm probably going to try to sell it now. And then if somebody buys it quickly, like we're going to price it aggressively. And if it's sold quickly, I'm going to get a new e-tron GT. Because I'm such an Audi fanboy. No, it's an amazing car. Have you driven it?
No.
The suspension.
I didn't even see it. No.
Yeah, it's. Then okay, we have a deal now. If I sell mine, and I buy a new one, I'm going to fly down to Germany, pick it up, and then I'm going to swing by you, and then we'll do some videos together.
Well,
okay?
I can come to Munich. It's fine.
No, I don't know where I'm going to buy it. Maybe I can buy one somewhere close to where you live. Mobile.de is it's a very nice place to shop.
I don't do live. I'm not Bjorn, where every test has to be a live stream, and I'm sure he does it. He does this because of money.
I don't understand how he's able to do it because, like, but this is the reason. Like, when I do a test, I like my alone time, like listening to music or to podcast. I don't have enough energy to. Like, if I was doing that, I couldn't do, like, the rest of the working. I couldn't pump out the amount of videos. I don't have the stamina to do all of this.
So do you do everything yourself with the videos, or do you have someone who helps?
No, everything myself.
Yeah, we all do that, eh?
Yeah. But my goal is to do, like if I could have somebody edit.
So, about your videos, when they're released, do you read comments a lot, or do you just fly over them and like?
No. I read all comments and I try to answer, like, depending on like the upload schedule. I try to answer as many comments as possible within like the first hour or two.
Okay. But you don't visit, so you don't have the YouTube Studio app, and then every time when there's a comment, you get a message, and then you look and answer it. Yeah, I do that.
I sit like that all the time.
So how do you deal with the negative comments? And I don't mean the car when it's this is, and I don't mean when they insult you. I mean, this is just. Spam or whatever, block and gone. But if they say you did something wrong, how do you deal with that?
No, of course it depends on my mood. And sometimes I can be a little bit harsh, but like it's never from a bad place. Like I try to be as humble as possible, but it's not always easy. So I've started with the commenting guidelines. So I have two rules. Like, again, the comment section isn't like people come to YouTube and they think it's like a democracy. It's like free speech. It's not. And I got a comment like, because I don't want to censor anything, but I have two rules. No personal attacks on me or my friends, and no spreading of false information. Like typical if a Tesla person comes and like, oh, I could drive 1,000 kilometers with a Tesla in this test. That's just false. You'll get a warning, and if you continue, you get a 14-day ban. Yeah, so I've done this with one commenter. He got a 14-day ban because he kept like personal attacks. Other than that, like everything will. I don't want to censor. I really don't want to censor.
No.
But if people are idiots,
what I can't stand and is when people don't watch the whole video.
yeah.
When they see the first 2 minutes and they saw the title and they're already commenting.
Yeah.
Because they didn't like the title and
Yes.
they don't know where it could be going. Even though I try to explain and the title is maybe sometimes, I don't say clickbait, but maybe it's a bit harsh.
No, but
So
I just want to interrupt you there because this is just how YouTube works. And I've done clickbait titles and people say, oh, don't use clickbait titles. But if you look at your analytics, the videos that perform the best, like within the past year, without, even a shadow of doubt, are the titles, the videos with clickbait titles. It just works. But the video I uploaded yesterday is, I'm just going to find it now, but I don't remember the title. So the title is, Tesla Model Y Autobahn Test, Pushing It to the Limit. It's like, okay, cool title. But the thumbnail is like, unstable at high speed, ? Right? And people are like, oh, you're so negative. And I'm like, how is that negative? It's like, it's a question. Like if you read it as if you read it as negative, it's only because you have a negative mindset. And then people are like, oh, why are you saying this is unstable at speed? And I'm like, dude, I say so clearly 3 times in the video. I answer the question because there's a question, unstable at high speed. We answer the question in the video, and the answer is, it's very stable at high speed. I say that 3 times, but the steering is too direct, so small inputs means a lot of movement. So you can't relax, like going 200, 220 kilometers an hour. You can't relax driving this car fast.
That was my question. So I thought that maybe people have questions here. So
probably
to the
not.
Chat. Give me a few nice questions. We have 107 people here, 120 likes. Usually I stop at 100 likes on my Sunday stream. It's always a thing. When we are at 100 likes, I stop instantly.
The stream? You stop the stream? Oh, yeah. Then there's no incentive. Like then people won't like. They just want to keep it going.
No, they want to. Oh, I want to have a nice Sunday, not to have to watch him. Hey, someone's asking, when are you doing an iX3 review?
I don't have plans yet because I have so busy scheduling, but I'm probably gonna get around to it at some point. It's not a car I have prioritized because there have been comments, but in Norway it's an EV it has rear wheel drive.
Where does he want to live the most?
Live? In the whole world? Ooh, I don't know. I was actually thinking about it would be cool living in Germany for a while with the Autobahn and, the manufacturers being close by. But again, I live in Norway, so like EV content, it's like kind of the mecca.
Thanks, guys. I watch your channels. Do you think Tesla can keep being the leading car maker in EVs? EVs?
I don't think they are the leading car maker. Do you? Oh yeah, like in sales, like they are leading, of course.
I think that's what he means.
In sales? No, I don't know.
I think
it's
that's
like,
what he means.
No, as the market gets more saturated, they're going to lose their market share. Of course, like everything else. Like Apple was the biggest phone manufacturer at one point in time, and then as everybody else starts doing the same thing, like it's just inevitable. And it doesn't mean that their products are getting any worse or preference is shifting. It's just like Tesla early adopters. It's cool, like with touch phone, smartphones when they were launched in like 2007. Only the geekiest people had them, and then now everybody has one, right?
Yeah. But that's cool. Thank you so much for doing this. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah,
I
me
didn't
too.
think we'll do that for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to keep you that long.
No, this is voluntarily. You're not forcing me to do anything. So.
Well, very, very cool. Okay, say bye to the live stream, and I say bye to you in a second, so we can
Okay. Auf
wrap this up
Wiedersehen.
properly.
Tschüss.
Yeah, exactly. Bye, live stream.
Bye, live
We'll
stream.
see
Thanks
you
for watching.
soon.